Welcome to Inside Carbondale. This is the podcast that brings you the latest information about projects and events going on in Carbondale. I'm Amy Fox, the City of Carbondale's Public Relations Officer, and I'm joined by Carbondale City Manager Gary Williams. And today we're talking about transparency within the city, and this is something leaders are continually striving for. And Gary, why is transparency so important specifically for the City of Carbondale?
You know, at the risk of not overusing the word transparency, I mean, I've been hearing that a lot from folks in the public lately. It really is something we're dedicated to in Carbondale. We believe very strongly that all citizens in Carbondale should have the opportunity to be heard, and that city leaders should be accessible. We should be visible in the community, and we should provide opportunities for folks to be able to ask us questions and challenge us, and find out what's going on in the community. So for us, it's really just a fundamental aspect of city government, and it's something that we want to promote because we want to encourage people to participate in the process of city government.
Has this been something the city has struggled with in the past?
I've been here 5.5 years, and I would say that probably the first part of the period that I was here, I think that probably not unlike a lot of organizations that they can become complacent. And what I mean by that is you might rely too much on communicating with maybe one part of the community, maybe certain groups of the community, maybe certain organizations within the community that over time perhaps they garner a little more influence than the community as a whole. And I think I did see some of that. Not that it was necessarily strategic in the development of that influence, but it just occurred over time. And so one of the things that struck me was that Carbondale is a very diverse community, and we have lots of different ethnic groups, religious groups, certainly socioeconomic differences in the community. And so it was important to me that if I were ever to get in a role like this, that we would work hard at being accessible to all parts of the community. And so going forward, that's what we intend to do.
What steps specifically are you beginning to implement within the city, whether that be the city manager, the mayor, city council, departments within the city?
Well, I think that the city council, we have the council went through a lot of changes in 2015 after the election with a new mayor and 3 new council members. And obviously there's been a lot of changes in the city administration. So I think collectively we all kind of share that same vision for Carbondale, that we want to reach out to everyone. We want everyone to be involved. In terms of changes that we might be implementing, many of those have been like ideas like this podcast. In the last year, our police department rolled out a Coffee with a Cop program where they once a month meet at some location in Carbondale, and they invite the public to come out, and it's just a real informal opportunity for people to get to know their police department. Obviously, it's not just in Carbondale, but nationally, there's been a lot of strains to police community relations over the years, and certainly we're not immune to that. And it's something we want to repair because our public safety folks are usually on the front lines, are the most visible city employees to the public. We've also recently, the mayor rolled out a program, Meet the Mayor, that is a way for people to, again, have access to the mayor and the city council. And I attend as well, so I can answer any administrative questions that come up. So those are a couple of the things. And I think as a whole, though, we're just trying to create a different tone at City Hall that, that's maybe a little more informal, a little more relaxed. And we hope that people realize that we're accessible and you can approach us and, ask questions and get involved.
What's people's perception of the city of Carbondale? Do you hear things on the street when you're at these different events, or just strangers coming up to you, talking to you?
Yeah, I think the response has been pretty positive. I talk to people a lot in the community from all parts of the community, and it's very rewarding, and it's also humbling to know that people have recognized some of the changes. And I think that overall, the sentiment I keep hearing from the public is that they feel like they like the direction the city's going. They've noticed changes, and they appreciate those changes. And I think there's just a general sense that it's a different feel at City Hall and within city government, which I think is a good thing.
And what's kind of next for you? Do you have any specific goals or initiatives that you hope to implement in 2017?
A lot of the things we're doing like today will revolve around communicating programs and events that are going on in the community. We have an Eclipse coming up in August, so that's going to be really at the forefront of a lot of things we do with communicating to the public. But I think in general, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, like through this podcast and through some of our community meetings. We want to continue to have town hall style meetings where possible to address certain kind of public policy issues. And we're going to continue to explore ways to have meetings in particular neighborhoods and throughout the community. Again, to try to give everybody access and make people feel comfortable. I think there's a lot of value in meeting people on their own turf. So we're just going to continue to look for ways to communicate our message, communicate the vision of the council, and to try to bring people together.
And if people aren't able to come to one of these community events, how do they go about contacting you and voicing their concerns or maybe suggestions and ideas?
Yeah, we are always accessible, and you can call the City of Carbondale anytime at 618-549-5302. My email address is gwilliams@explorecarbondale.com. And if you also go to explorecarbondale.com, you'll find all the department heads, all the different divisions. There are contact names on there. So we're pretty easy to get a hold of.
And also social media as well. You do have Facebook and Twitter.
Well, yeah, this is the first time we've had a public relations officer. And one of the first things you were able to accomplish was to get that page up and live. And we have a YouTube channel that you've been putting out a lot of really wonderful videos of people throughout the community, and it's ways for people, again, to know what's going on in Carbondale, get to meet other people in the community. But all that's accessible through explorecarbondale.com as well. So we're going to keep looking for ways to connect people.
All right. Thanks, Gary, and we hope you'll join us next time for another episode of Inside Carbondale. Have a great day.